Morning, day 13, and it's May 29th, and I'm at the bottom of Mount Nemo. There was a good road walk to get here. Wow, this place has changed. They have a parking lot now, and quite an entrance. It's great. I've been coming here for years. It's in my backyard, so I was supposed to start yesterday. It was like 30 degrees, and with the humidex it was 40, and there was pollution, and nah, big pass on that one. I'm starting my trek kind of northish, I guess, and we'll see how far we get. 9-pound pack, as always. Almost 2 liters of water, a little bit more food this time, 3 and change for food. But yeah, I'm staying within my 16 pounds, maybe a little bit more this time, 16.5 pounds. I lighten up my clothes and whatnot, a few little changes, but yeah, we'll see. A lot of road walk, but yeah, it's hot, and hopefully I won't burn up too bad. And yeah, let's hike up to the top of the escarpment. I was going to say apartment, but escarpment. Okay, later. I think as I go northish, I'll have better supplies of water. But wow, the mosquitoes are aggressive. Makes for a good hiking pace, though, I tell you. I'm not really carrying pants anymore. I'm in shorts, so we'll see how that goes. That lean-to has been there for I don't know how many years, and they completely redid the trail here, and yet they've left the lean-to. I like it. I have no problem with that. The kids getting out. Well, I made it to the top. The mosquitoes are thick. In fact, I'm scratching myself right now. I'll have to be real careful where I camp. That's for sure. And you don't stop for long. You can see, no, let me rephrase that. A little out of breath here. I just got up the hill. You can't see Toronto because, yeah, there's a lot of pollution. On one of my earlier videos, I talked about people leaving the big city to find cheaper housing, and the result is more people on the highways, and the infrastructure gets taxed, and also people have gotten their crappy old lawnmowers out, and yeah, 'tis the season. Air conditioning goes on. Trump starts firing up his coal generators, and but yeah, pretty well a good time to be up on the hill. So I'll keep going here, and I know shortly I'll be into another road walk, but yeah, I would come here a lot with family and my parents, and it was a great little spot. It's changing. One of the last hikes I ever took with my father was in this area, and yeah, he was almost 96 at the time, and that was quite inspiring. I'm hoping to be able to walk at that age too, but yeah, I'll keep going here so I can scratch myself later. Some of these crevasses you find along here, cracks, I guess they're called. We used to call them caves. They can actually go quite deep. So yeah, you want to be you want to be watching where you're going, that's for sure. We're coming up to the spot where my daughter and I and my father pretty well took our last little hike together. It's bring back some good memories here. He was a trooper, I tell you that. We wouldn't come up the hill, of course, but yeah, we would make it out here. I remember sitting on a bench somewhere. Where was he? Somewhere in here, I guess. Okay, later. The trail follows a limestone quarry, which we have lots of here, used for housing and construction and road work, and sometimes they go so deep they hit the water table. And they were some of our favorite spots when we were young for swimming on hot days. Of course, they didn't like that. This one's still in operation. You can see a truck there, a slinger. But yeah, unfortunately a little bit hard on the environment, but everybody needs a place to live, I suppose. Yeah, that was a big old road walk. Wasn't too bad. You follow the quarry there, but here you follow nothing. There's not even a shoulder. But oh well, what can you do? It's still fairly early, so it won't fry as much, but yeah, I would hate to do this at high noon. Okay, let's see how I make out. Oh, what a gorgeous tree. Full flower. Kind of cool. Just coming to the end of today's road walk, and boy, I know this section pretty good. I would park my car here alongside the road, put on my waders. I'd be out here at 5 or 6 in the morning, and I'd go up the trail, the same trail that we're going to go on now. And I would go fishing for trout. There's a little creek up there, and it had a good population of brown trout, and it was catch and release, but wow, spent many an hour. I'll have to get back into it. Maybe after next spring or something. Well, there's a group of bikes here, and yeah, I used to really enjoy that. Pretty peaceful, tranquil, and I would spend hours going up and down. And you'd catch, nothing huge, but smart little fish, German brown trout. They were smarter than me, I'll tell you. Coming up on my creek where I used to fly fish, I remember I had a big old case for my rod. I had very long rods, and I would hide it underneath a stump over there. And then I would go up and down the river. Just a beautiful little spot. I definitely have to start coming back. They're not deep, but they're well oxygenated and lots of rocks on the bottom. Good habitat for them. Just a great little spot. Good memories. But I see the mosquitoes are as thick as ever, though. Well, sure glad I'm not doing these road walks yesterday. It was like 30, it was like 40 with the Humidex. It would have been brutal. Okay, we're gonna get off to the side here. Ah, yes. Beautiful nature. I had a false start the other day because of the heat. And I'd filled my bladder up. And I said, what the heck? I'll throw it in the fridge overnight. It'll get rid of the chlorine at the same time. And it was nice and cool this morning. I put it in my pack, and I guess the insulation in my pack, I've had cold drinks all day here. That just worked out dandy. So, night before you go out, put your bladder in the cooler. That's your water bladder, by the way. Bye-bye. Coming up on a place called Crawford Lake, and always a favorite place of mine when I was young. It wasn't a conservation area back then. It's well protected now. It's kind of unique. It's a lake. It's bottom fed lake, artesian style. It's very deep, and the water's very cold. So things that have fallen down there are there for a long time. Even if a log goes down there, the lack of oxygen, the cold, it's kind of neat, and they find some pretty neat things there. It was an old settlement by the Iroquois, the First Nations people of this area. It was a camp. I don't know if it was a summer, winter camp. I think it was a permanent camp is what they're claiming. And yeah, it really is a beautiful lake, and it's quite unique. And I'll take some pictures when we get up to it. And at the same time, they bring a lot of students and cubs and scouts, and so they have a little area there. And hopefully I can pick up some drinks or some snacks of some sort. And I'll show you around. They even have a recreation of an old log house, so kind of cool. See you in a bit. There's some good-sized deer in here. This is the forest leading up to the lake. I'm coming up on the lake here. They have a boardwalk that goes all the way around, and it's also handicap accessible, so that's kind of cool. You can come here with the elderly or people in wheelchairs and whatnot. In fact, I think they rent them out, the cross-country ones. Anyways, got a good shot of the lake. I won't diddle too long. My battery's getting awful low. You can hear the chatter of kids in the background, but yeah, it's a really cool little lake. There's bass in it. At one time it was private, and the guy stocked it with salmon or something, the people that owned it, the Crawford family, but it was given back to the Conservation Authority. They put some examples of some longhouses. I guess this was a palisade. Yeah. With that. Oh. Let's go this way. I guess they didn't get along with their neighbors. Well, managed to get some cold water and an ice cream from the gift shop. That's always good. We'll take a small peek here before I continue across the valley. A good job they did. I guess it would have been a typical longhouse. Multiple families living inside. They're a little city, I guess. Seen that in a while. I think they still have organized clubs. Lacrosse, that was just a wicked fast game, native game that was played. But when I played when I was a kid, all the sticks were made out of wood and rawhide, and looks like they're all carbon fiber now. But good to keep some of the old sports alive. Well, I'm just climbing out of the valley. We used to call it the Buffalo Valley because there was a herd of buffalo there. But yeah, coming up to my road walk here, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do a little bit tonight, and then a little bit in the cool of tomorrow morning, and that'll break it up a little bit. So let's see if we can find a place towards Kelso to camp. Okay, later. Well, this is where I used to buy my cars when I was young. I guess $300 Volkswagen certified. Get us around during the winter. By springtime they would be scrap. Wow, that was a monster day. But I guess the road walks and the mosquitoes in pursuit made for a good pace, so I'm beat. I reached Kelso conservation area, and I think I'm just gonna park myself here. It's a little bit noisy, but anywhere around here, we're in Toronto International Flight Path, so either way we're gonna have some noise. But yeah, I'm calling it a day, so I'll set up camp, and tomorrow I guess I'll be in Hilton or Halton Falls, I can't remember, but it's a pretty cool place. It's a water reserve for this whole area, but yeah, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Ciao.